This week on the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast.
What do you remember about House of Wax?
I remember it being kind of flashy. I remember the effects being amazing. I remember the deaths being creative.
All right, well, let's watch the trailer and then we'll make our prediction.
I got creep factor from that.
Yeah, I think they gave away the ending.
Well,
Could have been called The House of Snores 3.
ooh.
Almost as good as being hit by a car 2. And 1 out of 10, what a piece of shit. The best kind of guilty pleasure 10. Come for Paris Hilton, stay for the surprisingly good movie 9. Surprisingly violent and lots of fun 8. Wade is knocked out by Bo's brother Vincent. Actually, his Achilles tendon is sliced open by the sharpest pair of scissors known to man.
Yeah, and that hurt my heart.
But Wade had it coming.
He totally did. I mean, that's what you get for touching people's shit.
How many red flags?
Still nobody thinks to call AAA.
Carly actually tries to reason with Vincent, saying she knows he's the good brother. He's an artist. I'm like, bitch, have you seen his artwork?
And he's still super stabby.
Lights, camera, and action. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? We're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Let's get ready to join Anna and Jimmy as they go back and watch those movies you remember being oh so awesomely good. Horror movies that scared. Comedy movies that dared.
Damn!
And action movies so preposterously ludicrous that they defied the laws of common sense. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
Okay, I just have to add these. I apologize. I was actually trying to do it while it was on. That's why it popped up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do that. I think I did that last week too.
Well, it happens.
Boom. All right. Welcome back. Okay, so we are going to preview House of Wax. That's the Blu-ray, obviously.
Yeah.
2005. Which is not a lot different than the movie poster. Hot, sexy, deliciously creepy horror. Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah. I got more excited about this movie. Okay, let's get in a 2005 type of mood before we get into the movie. All right, let's go to the box office of 2005, May 6th. House of Wax opened at number 2. It had a budget of 40 million. Seems like a lot for a horror movie. It opened at 12, just over 12 million. It finished domestic with 32, international with 36, and made 68 million. Now, I read that between the budget, marketing, and everything else, it didn't quite make its money back in the theaters. But 2005 was also very much Blockbuster was alive, and it made a profit by the time it hit. It hit DVD sales and rentals.
Yeah.
All right, in a nutshell. Which means we could go to the tail of the tape. And House of Wax is a 2005 horror film rated R for horror, violence, some sexual content, and language, and comes at a kind of beefy 1 hour and 53 minutes.
Especially for a horror movie.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not, doesn't mean it's bad.
No.
Taglines: pray, slay, display.
Love it. Love it. Yeah.
That's the one that's on the poster. On May 6th, See Paris Die.
That's why most people went to go watch it.
The Flesh is Weak, Wax is Forever.
Interesting.
There's a Reason They Look So Real.
Ooh, creepy.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
those were
good.
pretty good.
Yeah.
The synopsis: a gang of college friends, including Wade, Jared Padalecki, and his girlfriend, Carly, Elisha Cuthbert, are en route to a school football game when they wind up with a flat tire in a ghost town. They are forced to seek help in the only place that's open, the local wax museum. That should be your first red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Once inside the spooky and seemingly abandoned building, they find the works on display are not quite what they seem, and the group soon discover it's being hunted by the insane twin brothers who run the museum.
Mm.
Let's take a look at the poster. A better look. It's cool.
It's very cool.
For everyone listening, everyone's name who's starring is up top. There is a wax female that's kind of melting, and then it's Pray Slay Display, House of Wax, May 6th. Yeah, it is pretty cool.
It's a great poster. It's nice. It's creepy.
So let's go to Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm ready. Let's do this.
161 critic reviews has it at 27%.
Jiminy Crickets, that's low.
But 250,000 audience reviews has it at 65%. The critics' consensus bearing little resemblance to the 1953 original House of Wax is formulaic, but better than average teen slasher flick.
Interesting.
Some of the fresh is, although it's filled with stupid characters who make basic horror movie mistakes, they take the detour, accept a ride from a stranger, investigate the creepy town, etc. It also has a way of getting under skin. While House of Wax certainly delivers what it promises, the film only half works for me because I'm more invested in the aesthetics than the actors. Still, for a big budget studio effort, it's certainly watchable.
High praise.
What the film lacks in smarts, it more than makes up for with stellar production design. That $40 million budget went far, and some truly nasty slasher shenanigans. Not just fun and funny, don't forget Paris Hilton's in it, but it's also surprisingly frightening. Makes up for its idiot plot with a gallon of gore.
Tell us how you really feel.
These are all the good ones.
I know.
As far as gory, twisted, sharp, stick through the fucking head slasher flicks go, the new House of Wax ain't too shabby.
Love it.
Those were the good ones. These are the rotten ones. Director Jean Serres' feature film debut is chock full of everything a director shouldn't do in a film. Apparent kills are left unverified, handy firearms are left untouched, and the group splits up a record 4 times, ensuring most of these dolts will never see the dawn. We'll always have Paris, but for almost an hour we endure these dumb children bickering, wandering aimlessly, insulting local hayseeds, and not having sex. That's hot. I'm
That
pretty
was
sure that's
Paris Hilton's.
sarcasm.
No, that was Paris Hilton's catchphrase. When she
Oh,
was on The
right,
Simple
yeah.
Life, everything was "That's hot."
That's hot.
But she did it like deadpan. Also, I'd like to point this out that the director, I have been saying his name with a French accent. His
Yeah, he's
name is
Spanish,
not
isn't he?
French. He's Spanish American. So I don't know if you would call it home. Colette Serra. Just thought I'd add that in there. I want to correct that. He was born in Spain. So
Yes,
he's
not French. He's
Spanish.
Spanish. Yeah, Spanish. If you've seen one horror movie, you'll always be several steps ahead of everyone in House of Wax.
Mm.
The 1933 and 1953 versions are available on a single DVD for slightly less than the price of 2 evening movie tickets. Am I making myself clear? Most alarming, the movie leaves. You gotta remember, there's 163, so I had to filter a lot. So
Yeah.
most alarming, the movie leaves open the possibility of a sequel. Not to focus too much on Paris Hilton, but she brings an art to bad acting.
True.
Meanwhile, the audience wonders when Paris Hilton will be eviscerated for their enjoyment.
Also true.
And then Roger Ebert. Now, this is he gave it a bad review, but House of Wax is not a good movie, but it is an efficient one and will deliver most of what anyone attending House of Wax could reasonably expect, assuming it would be unreasonable to expect very much.
Mm.
IMDb 129,000 user ratings, 5.4, which is
A little on the low side, but still
yeah,
pretty standard for horror
for a
films.
horror. So I go from 10 to 6 for positive reviews. The best kind of guilty pleasure, 10. Come for Paris Hilton, stay for the surprisingly good movie, 9. Surprisingly violent and lots of fun, 8. Beautifully twisted, satisfyingly gross, 7. I expected a lot worse, 6.
I like that one.
Now, admit it, you wanted to see Paris die too, 5. Incredible death scenes, but that's about it, 4. Could have been called The House of Snores, 3.
Ooh.
Almost as good as being hit by a car, 2. And 1 out of 10, what a piece of shit.
Oh, those are good. Almost as good as being hit by a car. That's my favorite.
I love IMDb.
Oh,
All right. So before we watch the trailer, what do you remember about House of Wax?
I remember it being kind of flashy. I remember the effects being amazing. I remember the deaths being creative. And I think that's pretty much like I remember don't ask me about specific like who dies when or anything like that. But I remember coming out of that being like good horror movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Same here. I didn't see it in theaters. This was a
Mhm.
Blockbuster rental, and I got it probably because it was new, and I would rent anything new. But I was not expecting a good movie. I was not a Paris Hilton fan. I didn't The Simple Plan and all that. I was expecting a pretty dumb movie, but I do actually remember when it was over saying that was actually really good.
Yeah.
Now I don't remember a lot about the movie.
Yeah.
And I went through great pains not to watch this trailer. But yeah, I do remember it being a good movie, a good horror movie. It surprised me. And maybe it was one of those where it was not the greatest horror movie, but it was a lot better than I was expecting, that type of thing.
But I think the distinction you just made is the distinction that we both made. It's a good horror movie. It's
Yeah.
not a good movie in general, but it's a good horror movie.
Yeah.
Like that's what I remember it being. And I remember some deaths like having to turn my head away. I remember, that nauseous feeling you get when something really gross is about to happen. Like I remember getting that. Don't
Yeah.
ask me what death happened after I got that feeling. I have no idea. But yeah, I remember it being just a good horror movie.
All right. Well, let's watch the trailer and then we'll make our prediction.
You guys gonna do it tonight or what?
Stop!
The hell is that?
What does he want?
Can we help you?
Maybe we're on his property.
I'm gonna turn your lights off.
That guy was a freak.
So let's get out of here.
All right, let's go.
Come on, he's gone. Is anybody?
No, nobody.
Hello?
I don't think anyone's here. Hey, where's that House of Wax? It is wax. Literally.
This is weird.
Looks like a hell of a party. Look how detailed this is. Tell me this doesn't look real. You're saying that that's a real person underneath?
They're all wax, everyone. Help! Please, somebody! there. You gotta be careful.
I am being careful.
What's going on?
I got creep factor from that.
Yeah, I think they gave away the ending.
Well, ish. I still don't know who survives because we know someone survives, but I don't know
And
which one.
was this the same people that did Ghost Ship?
I don't think so. The
No,
Dark Castle people?
Dark Castle. No, because the other one was
No. These
not
are the
Dark
ones I
Castle.
think they did The House on Haunted Hill? The Haunting? Am I right about that?
House on Haunted. Oh no, yeah, no, they did do Ghost Ship.
Oh,
House
did
on
they?
Haunted Hill. Yeah, 13 Ghosts, Ghost Ship, Gothica, House of Wax, The Reaping. Yeah,
Shit.
so this is one of theirs.
It has that feel to it.
Yeah. So if Ghost Ship got 15 and Leprechaun got 27, this one got 20. So this one should be even better.
100%.
But the audience actually gave this one 65 on
Mhm.
Rotten Tomatoes. 250,000 audience scores.
Pretty solid.
Yeah. So again, that tells me that
Mhm.
critics are stupid. Oh, actually, you know what? I made a mistake. That was from so that's not good. All right, I have to make a change here. Sorry. Because when I redid it, I was redoing breakdown. Breakdown got 65%. House of Wax has 250,000 ratings and it comes in at 43%.
Okay then.
But Ghost Ship was along the same lines, 15 and like 37%. So I'm not overly worried here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks creepy. Looks
I was getting a creepy vibe from the trailer,
yeah.
and there's like just the idea of just wax encased dead bodies all around them. It gives me the creepy crawlies.
Yeah.
So that bodes well for it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are going to go watch House of Wax
Mhm.
and then we will come back and review it.
You heard them. Movie time. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves a treat, and then watch a classic kick-ass movie from whenever the one we're about to watch was made.
And now, on with the show.
And now.
And now I know who survives.
Yeah, now you know who survives.
Now I know.
So, initial thoughts?
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Did you?
I was actually surprised how much I enjoyed it. I thought it was mostly going to be for the cheese factor, but I found myself being super like creeped out, grossed out, and kind of feeling nauseous through parts of it. So I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
look
it
at you
definitely.
being
It
a horror
definitely.
movie."
Yeah, it definitely did all of that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we might not agree on this one.
That's okay. We
Right.
don't have to.
No, actually, sometimes that makes it more fun. House of Wax. Okay. Oop, I hope I got the right one. Yes, I do. Okay, good. Whew. All right. So yeah, let's go into the movie.
Let's jump right in.
I didn't hate the movie. I didn't hate it. I didn't like. I'm not gonna shit over it. I'm gonna shit on some parts.
Well, there is stuff to shit on. Let's
Yeah.
not pretend.
And it wasn't completely like it wasn't like a waste of time. I didn't hate that I had to sit through it or anything like that. I just your enthusiasm, I don't think matches my lack of enthusiasm.
See, but I think my enthusiasm is mostly brought forth with surprise because I'm surprised I liked it as much as I did.
Oh, okay. See, that's how I
Yeah.
was. I That's how I was back in 2005 when I watched it. I went in going, Paris Hilton horror movie. Yeah, this is gonna blow. And then I was kind
Yeah.
of like, yeah, that
I mean,
wasn't.
it was
Yeah.
pretty good.
All right. So I'm actually starting to go through the plots. I'm putting star points here because I'm not gonna sit here for hours and write a whole plot of the movie. So I
No?
just no. I took the best one and then put stars where we have to go in a little deeper because a lot of these plots miss
They miss, like,
major.
key
Yeah,
action. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a lot. All right. In 2005, Carly Jones, her brother Nick, her boyfriend Wade, her best friend Paige, Paige's boyfriend Blake, and Nick's friend. Oh, it answered one of my questions I had. Nick's friend Dalton are on their way to a football game in Louisiana.
Mhm.
Okay, so they do a good job showing us everyone and getting to know the characters.
You get a great little snapshot of who everybody is within this group. I was
Yeah,
like, "Nice."
yeah. If not a little dramatic, like Nick is the bad boy who's like on his 10th monster drink and
Yeah. So we're
game.
already on the teens. Do we wanna hit the opening scene right quick?
Oh yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. Because
Yeah.
actually, I'm looking at here. That's not even in the plot.
That's not even because this whole movie starts with a very disturbing, like, sepia-toned family, like, scene, and it was very, I didn't it made me feel icky. I'm gonna put it
Yeah.
that way.
Oh,
This
yeah. No, I agree, and I
Yeah.
lied. They did have it. Sorry.
Oh,
It's
okay.
1974. A woman
Yes.
is making a wax sculpture as one of her sons eats breakfast. Her husband enters with another son. This son, the first son that's eating, is nice, and she's complimenting him
Mhm.
and all that. She's ahead of the time because it's 1974.
Mm.
The dad walks through. Her husband with another son after being strapped and taped into his chair. He scratches his mother's hand. Then she slaps him, the kid across the face.
It was the strapping the kid in because I'm like, "There's dried blood on that chair.
Yeah.
Oh, this is disturbing." And then all of a sudden, we go into the movie and we meet all of these
Yeah. Now,
people who are gonna die.
to be fair, I'm not condoning the slapping, but the kid looked like he was a bit of a rascal.
Um, or psychopath, one of the 2. That was a lot of, like, anger coming out of what looked
Yeah,
to be like a 4 or 5-year-old, and I was like,
yeah. And you've met my 5-year-old. To be honest, this looks like an every morning in my home. Like I said,
"No."
chocolate Pop Tart, you fucking Pop Tart. But yeah, it was
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
um,
just a very unnerving scene, and you don't know where it's coming from exactly,
yeah,
but you know it has something to do with the House of Wax because obviously there's, like, a wax
yeah. And the mother was
mask
making the
face
wax
thing,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Nick is a bit of a bad boy,
Mhm.
obviously. Wade is the sensitive, there for your boyfriend. Maybe because, like, maybe he'll move to New York to be with Carly. That's the whole thing at the beginning.
I thought it was just for a summer internship. Was I drunk?
Oh,
And then there's some stuff that gets touched on in here that they never
yeah. Because
expand on
I
because I
know
was like
she's going to New York and he
and I
might
know
be going
there's
with her.
yeah, there's something she needs to talk to him about,
Yeah.
but we never find out what. And the nosy woman in me is like, "What what do you wanna tell him?"
Yeah. Is it Elisha Cuthbert?
Elisha Cuthbert.
Alicia. That's Alicia.
Mhm.
Oh, she has one of those parents. But
How
I do to fucking butt fuck nowhere for Alicia Cuthbert.
Yeah, it's Elisha Cuthbert.
Yeah.
She who
It's
was of the fantasies of many teenage and 20-something men and 30-something and 40-something, basically men in the 2000s. She
yeah.
was very, very popular.
Yeah. Can I tell you a
Yeah.
secret?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I had a crush on Elisha Cuthbert.
Shocking. Shocking.
Starting to think the amount of fucking crushes.
Sorry.
It's wonder I got anything done. Dalton
Mhm.
is a dumbass, but like he's really dumb, and
Yes.
he's going around with that camera and videotaping everything. Blake is the cool token black guy,
Yes.
even though by this time in 2005 we have already started to make fun of this horror trope, but
No,
they still threw it in anyways.
but at least they didn't make him, like a hip hop enthusiast or, someone who was very much like from the inner city. I was like,
Fair enough.
at least you're kind of just making him sound like everybody and dress like everybody that's there. I'm like, this is nice.
Yeah.
Although it would have been nice if they gave him a black girlfriend, but no, he's got to date the white girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fine.
And then Paige is the super hot girl who will most likely die soon.
I really thought she was going to die first. Not going to
Yeah.
lie.
But at least we get to see her titties. Except, spoiler alert, we don't get to see her titties, which I don't understand. She had already made a celebrity sex tape. I think she invented the celebrity sex tape by this time.
I
She's like, no, I have
don't know if
standards.
it was her or Kim first.
Um,
The things we wonder. It doesn't matter. But
no.
she was never very but apparently her whole Paris Hilton I'm a dumbass persona was just that, a persona.
Yeah, because now she looks
No,
really smart.
right? Like I'm seeing her in interviews and I'm like, girl,
Yeah.
that's dedication.
Yeah, and if that's good on her, if that was, you know what? I'm gonna make a lot of money and have a lot of fun and do a lot of shit and just make up this dumbass blonde character.
Yeah.
And yeah, because she's looking a whole lot smart now.
Guilty secret of mine. It's not gonna be a secret now,
Oh,
but
you watched that show, didn't you? The
I
Simple
watched a few
Plan,
no, The Simple Life.
The Simple Life.
I watched a few episodes, but I couldn't because there was such basic life stuff that they didn't know, and it drove me fucking crazy.
I wonder if that was all a ploy or like a.
I have no idea. And like now I'm questioning
People
everything.
loved it. People loved it.
Oh, people really enjoyed it, but I found it so fucking insulting. Maybe it's just because I come from a very working class family, so I see that kind of stuff, and I'm like, for reals, you don't, come on. But when she put out her single, I think it's like Stars Are Blind.
Oh, I
Or something.
forgot she put out
Yeah,
an
she put
album and
out a
stuff.
couple
Yeah.
singles, but her first one, I was like, I really like this, and it makes me mad that I like it, but I do. Every time it comes on in like a mix, I'm like, oh, this is a great song. Yeah. Okay, that's my
I
guilty
think a
secret.
lot of people shit on her because of who she was.
Mm.
They were going to shit on her regardless if she
Um,
was talented or not.
she did an interview and kind of looking back over her life, and she talks a lot about her time in boarding school and the amount of abuse that she went through there and the amount of trauma that she came out of it with. And I'm sitting there going, holy shit, girl, you've been through some shit. So I kind of understand and I will give this to, I think it was her grandfather who made this decision. But yes, there were, I think, billions to inherit. They were not going to inherit it. So it was
Mm.
made very clear from the beginning, you're not getting my money. So you better figure out a way to make your own living.
Wasn't her dad super rich though?
Her dad is super rich.
Yeah.
He's also a billionaire. Like it was started with the hotel industry. He took the seed money from that. He started a real estate business,
Yeah.
became one of the biggest realtors, and his agency became one of the biggest agencies in California. And it's worth billions now.
Isn't she working for him now though? Like, isn't she running some of his stuff, or is
No, I
she on
don't think
her
she is.
own?
She has her own.
Yeah.
She has her
Okay.
own stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, because she seems to have her shit together.
Yeah. And it came out of
So,
left field, and I'm proud of her. But I'm like, but she did stuff like this in the 2000s, which, I mean,
but she was younger and wanted
people are
to,
offering her roles. You think she's
yeah,
going to say no?
yeah,
She's probably still
money,
making royalties from this.
fame. Yeah, exactly. Um, do. And then we have Elisha Cuthbert as the final girl.
Hmm.
You can tell almost immediately who's going to die and in what order just by the typical horror movie characters. Although, it was no, I'd say there were a couple surprises in there.
There were a couple surprises, and I don't.
Like, was
I'm
the camera
fine.
guy Dalton? Was he? I
Yes,
know he's Nick's friend, but was he Wade and Blake's friend or Carly and Nick's friend?
I think he was Nick's friend,
And he was
but
just along
knew
because Nick was
Carly.
coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Blake is the one who invited Nick because apparently
Okay.
Blake thinks hanging out with Nick makes him a badass.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah. Okay. When night falls, the group sets up camp. A stranger in a pickup truck visits their campsite, shines his lights, and refuses to leave or addresses them until Nick smashes one of the headlights. That was a good setup for the bad guy.
Mhm.
Sets a nice creepy mood.
It does. It
Yeah,
was a great setup.
just a heads up for young listeners. If you try to intimidate someone, and even if you outnumber them and do something violent towards them and it doesn't bother them, middle of the night, middle of the day, middle of nowhere in public, lots of people around, stop whatever you do and move the fuck on.
Pack your shit and run.
Yeah.
Pack your shit because
Middle of the
they're
night in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Pack your shit up and get the fuck out.
I love how everybody was just like, "We're just gonna keep hanging out and making out, and then we're gonna go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yay!" I'm like, "Excuse me? Leave."
Yeah. Yeah. Psychos have tells. They look and act psychotic. The next morning, okay, that night, there I have a star. That night, you think it's Dalton who's walking around with the camera,
Mm.
filming everyone sleeping, but it's not. Like the next morning, he's asking if anyone's seen his camera. So the next morning, Wade discovers that his fan belt is broken. Carly and
Mhm.
Paige wander into the woods, and Carly falls down a hill into a pit filled with animal carcass. That was gross.
That was the most disgusting thing ever. Through that entire scene, I
Yeah.
was ready to puke. It was
Oh yeah, her
super
hands going in it and
oh,
stuff.
and
Yeah, that was
I
gross.
don't know who made that pit, but they deserve an Oscar
Yeah, it was good.
because you could just and the way it was squishing through her hands and oh god, it was terrible. It was so fucking terrible. Oh,
Yeah, and something that large and gross, it wouldn't matter where you were camping, upwind, downwind, that whole area would have stunk.
yeah, absolutely.
And I'm surprised they weren't mauled by bears who were there eating. It was like an all-you-can-eat buffet for apex
Mhm.
predators. After rescuing her, the group meets a strange rural man named
Mm.
Lester who offers to drive Carly and Wade to the nearby town of Ambrose to get a new fan belt while the rest of them go to the football game. First, this dude might have well been just plastered with red flags. Like he was a walking, talking red flag.
100%. 100%.
Second, the actor that plays Lester is Damon Harriman. I don't know if
Yeah,
I'm
that looks
pronouncing.
right.
He's a character actor. He's not a movie star, but he elevates everything. It's just one of those like he's been in over 100 different things like on his
Mhm.
IMDb page. And it's just those character actors that help a movie out tremendously. But yeah, third, I made a note not only to like not just splitting up, but in the middle of nowhere, but just like split up a third of your party and they go with the roadkill mobile and Lester and the other ones go on to like that was just like you might as well just be wearing a sign, kill me, please.
Well, don't get me wrong, like, I
I wouldn't
understand
get in the I wouldn't get in with
I
Lester.
wouldn't get in the truck, are
Even
you
if you had a
crazy?
chocolate bar, I wouldn't
But
get
then
in the
on top of that, everybody had cell phones.
yeah.
Are you telling me nobody had AAA?
Yeah.
Nobody could call for a tow? No, let's get into the roadkill mobile with the super creepy guy
With Lester.
who likes to play with yes, genius, let's do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, how is the movie supposed to start if nobody makes an
Yeah.
incredibly stupid decision that puts their safety in jeopardy? I mean,
The two arrive at Ambrose, which is virtually a ghost town. Unable to find an attendant at the gas station, they wander into the church, disrupting a funeral. Okay, so we'll go back a bit. They get to
mhm,
a river where Lester says was a road that got washed out. They decide to walk themselves to town rather than go all the way around with old Lester there.
mhm, 'cause they finally started to feel the red flags.
Yeah, yeah. And then Wade feels like a dick because Lester was telling the truth. It was just around the corner, and
Mhm.
but you never mind, Wade. Your spidey senses were correct, sir. Uh, I also can't believe they built that entire town for this movie.
I fucking love the dedication.
Yeah, like you're telling me you couldn't find one or more place to shoot this movie. You had to build the entire thing. Like this movie could have been a lot cheaper.
It could have been a lot cheaper, so much cheaper.
I wonder
It's
what they did after. What they do with the town is like one of those things that just is there
they
somewhere,
probably
just
just
abandoned, or if some people moved in and turned it into a town.
it's very possible that people have done that
That'd
before. They
be
do it
yeah,
a
that'd
lot
be
in,
cool.
like, California. I think there was a they call it a ghost town now, but it was built for a movie. And then when the movie was done, somebody just bought it all, and they were like, "Cool, it's a tourist attraction now." But
Mm.
they live on the property in one of the houses. I'm like, "That's
Oh, yeah.
fantastic."
Yeah. Yeah. There they meet a mechanic named Bo in the church who offers to sell them a fan belt after the funeral. While
Mhm.
waiting for the service to end, Carly and Wade visit the wax museum, which itself is made of wax and is a central feature of the town. If the lake of animal carcasses and Lester was a red flag, Jesus Christ, Wade and Carly, that wax museum was.
Okay, but can we talk about Wade's compulsion to go inside everywhere and
Yeah.
look around and touch things that don't belong to him?
Yeah.
I was like, "What is wrong with you?" Because everywhere he went, he's just like, "Let's go in." Touch, 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 and I'm like,
Yeah. It was
"Y
obviously there wasn't anyone there
yeah,
for a while. It was pretty
yeah, but
dusty.
still, it closed door sign that says closed. I'm
Yeah.
not walking in there and being like, "Let's take a look."
It's like, Wade, this doesn't look good for you.
Just wanders in everywhere.
Yeah. The gas station does not have the right size fan belt, so they follow Bo to his house. How many red flags do you need?
Still nobody thinks to call AAA.
I am surprised Wade and Carly have made it this far in life because not for not, both of these people should have gotten into the van that was promising a candy bar or a puppy years ago.
Mhm.
This is how stupid these two are.
They're just like,
Wade
"Sure, I'll follow you to your house. Sure. Also, can we" So Wade walks into the house because he
to go to the
needs to use
bathroom.
the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then when I saw what the house looked like, I was like, "I don't care how bad I have to go.
No.
If
No, I get it.
I see a house that looks like that, I'm like, I'm not going in that bathroom."
Yeah, you're going back out to the forest.
Yeah,
You can
that
go
is
in a
a dirty
tree.
house. I don't wanna know what their toilet looks like. I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, no. But what does he do? Wanders into the house, wanders all the way back, wanders into every single room, starts touching everything.
Yeah, just making himself at home.
Yep.
Wade is knocked out by Bo's brother Vincent. Actually, his Achilles tendon is sliced open by the sharpest pair of scissors known to
Uh-huh.
man.
Yeah, and that hurt my heart. I
That it
physically
did look like it
reacted.
was gonna hurt. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But Wade had it coming.
he totally did. I mean, that's what you get for touching people's shit and just wandering into people's houses.
And then I think he tried fighting, but he couldn't see anything because the lights were off. And
Mhm.
then he was drugged, wasn't he? Like, didn't he get
Yeah,
yeah.
when he got tied down because he got stabbed or
Oh,
sliced
right. He got stabbed in
on the
the arm or
chest.
chest. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then he got put on a table, and then that's when he got drugged, if I'm not oh, no,
That's
wait,
right.
he got drugged before he got put on the table because they dragged him
Oh,
down
that's
and
right too.
his
Yeah,
leg was
because
at a
he
weird
wasn't
angle.
fighting back when he was
He
getting
wasn't
put
fighting
on the
back, yeah.
table. No.
And then stitching started to happen.
Yeah. Well, you gotta stitch up what you did.
Well, yeah. Yes,
Outside, Carly realizes Bo is the one who visited them the night before after noticing the broken headlight. She seemed to wait there a long time.
Can I tell you the amount of stupid that girl is? No, because I was like, "Okay, fine, she's waiting, she's calling out to Wade, she's honking the horn, fine." Bo comes out. What does she do? She locks herself in the car,
Yeah.
with the keys in the car, and then he gets angry, and he hits the window, and what does she do? She waits,
Yeah.
and then he hits the window again, and it breaks, and what does she do? She lies down on the seat. Doesn't shift to the passenger side to get out. No, no. She lies down on the seat while he, like, goes to grab at her, and I'm like, "You're in the truck with the keys in the ignition. Start the car."
Yeah.
She does eventually, but I'm like, "Jesus, Murphy, you should be dead already."
Yeah. Yeah. And I think when we were watching it, when Wade went in to go tinkle,
Mhm.
the sun was out. And when Bo came out, it was dark, like not dusk, like it was
Yeah.
dark out. And then she was starting to think something was wrong. Some people have feelings about this type of danger. Some people don't. The only two others on the planet that don't are in this movie together, unfortunately.
It was just there was a lot. I was like, "Did nobody, like, have that personal safety talk with either of these kids?" Like,
Yeah, no, no, no.
what you don't walk into someone's home that
I
you
just
don't
start going
know.
through their shit.
Yeah, and especially that. I was like, "Wade, god damn it, stop touching shit." He went into the garage and started trying to take the fan belt. He was like, "It's fine. We'll just walk around and I'll do what I want."
Yeah.
I'm not that sad that way he died. I'm not
She runs to the church for help, but finds that it's populated only by wax sculptures. Okay, so
Mm,
first, like you said, she locks the door, and Bo's like, "What are you doing?" And she tries to get away. She screws that up because she starts the car finally,
yes.
and she backs up, and it. I don't even know where that was, but
It was, like, on
um,
the driveway. She got
yeah,
stuck on, like,
a cliff, not a cliff, but it was
a
like
rock or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
So then she heads to the church. Why? Figures a lot of people going to be there after hours.
Apparently, she thinks funerals last for 7 hours.
But
Who
this was,
knew?
yeah, this was pretty good for the fact that because the movie does set it up as a town and full of people, and
Yeah.
Carly finding out it was not, that part was okay. Bo captures her and brings her to the cellar of the gas station where she is restrained. Meanwhile, Wade is stripped naked and strapped to a chair. Actually, it's a table.
Mm.
No,
No.
to the chair to be covered in wax. This was the only real hide your eyes. Or if you're a man like me, just grit your teeth a bit. But it looked fucking painful when they
Uh,
were getting him ready for the wax and just the
yeah.
hot wax just pouring all, and he couldn't move, he couldn't say nothing, just you could see him crying.
Yeah. That was, it was very uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw Vincent putting the wax on the face and then ripping it off, I was like, "Oh, he waxed
Oh
his
yeah,
mustache."
yeah,
I was
that's
like,
right.
"Okay." And then I saw him in the chair and having the wax basically, like, sprayed on him, and I was
Yeah,
like, "That has gotta be hot and painful. That is not a good time." And then I felt really, really bad because he can't move. He can't you can hear, like, this you can't even really call it a scream. I think he's trying to
no,
scream.
it's more, yeah, he's trying to scream, but
He's
it's
trying to
not even
scream, but he
really.
doesn't it's just like, and I was like, "Oh god, this is very uncomfortable." It's a wonderful scene.
Yeah, this was one of the real OMG moments um
Mhm.
now Nick, Dalton, Paige, and Blake realize they will not arrive at the game in time and turn around. Yeah, so meanwhile, you have 4 perfectly good bodies. You could be
Mhm.
chasing or hunting or terrorizing as one would do in a horror movie, sitting in fucking traffic for,
Yeah.
like, for a good chunk of
But
time.
Blake is really insistent on making it to this game that nobody had tickets to,
Yeah,
that they were willing to buy tickets from a scalper.
yeah,
And I was like, "This is the most ridiculous." Because they set out on this road trip at night. Then they were like, "We'll drive through the night." "No, let's camp. It'll be fine." And then they sleep until 2:30, and I was like, "What game? Like, what time does the game start?"
yeah, 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 it didn't make, and I was wondering, maybe they had a whole other part and we're like, someone was like, "We're gonna do this, this, is this," and they were like, Paris Hilton can't do any of that." And the director is like, "What part?" And they're like, "All of it."
Do
All
you
that
feel
acting stuff you're talking
yeah,
about?
do you feel like there were whole
No.
scenes where they were like, "We're gonna have to cut that out.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to cut that out. We're gonna have to cut that out.
See
We'll
that
just make it
scene
so
in
that
her
they just
bra
have
and
sex."
panties and she's not saying nothing? That's good. See that part where she's saying something? That's no good.
I will say this, she was better in this movie than she was on Veronica Mars.
Oh, okay. She was in Veronica Mars?
She did an episode of Veronica Mars, and I have literally never seen worse acting in my life. Like, it
Was
was
that
painful.
before or after this movie?
That's a fantastic question. I think it might have been after. Maybe before? Crap, Veronica Mars? Why can't I remember? Oh, it was just before this movie
So she got
came out.
better.
Just before this movie came
So she
out.
got better.
Barely, but yeah, she got better.
But actually, truth be told, Paris Hilton wasn't that bad in this. Like, I've seen a lot worse from a lot of actors that went on to do a lot more movies.
Oh, 100%.
So nothing stellar,
Yeah.
nothing award winning, but it wasn't too
No.
bad.
Like, it wasn't so bad you couldn't watch it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, I was like, "Oh, whatever, you're a little wooden and your facial expressions don't always match what you're saying or the sentiment you're supposed to convey, but that's fine." Like, she wasn't painful to watch.
No. Nick and Dalton arrive in Ambrose to find Carly and Wade. Okay, so the four of them get back. Nick,
Mhm.
Dalton, Paige, and Blake decide to set camp up again. What? Fuck. Blake suggests Nick and Dalton go pick up Wade and Carly because he just found out his girlfriend did a sex tape and they haven't tried half the stuff she did on the sex tape. I don't know. So Nick and Dalton head into town. Nick visits the gas station where he questions Bo about Carly's whereabouts. I did like this scene.
Yes.
The whole part just underneath the grate there, and
Mhm.
Bo doing the super glue on her lips.
Mhm.
I was sitting there going, I wonder if that would work
What?
on
Super
the
glue on the
lips.
lips? It
Yeah,
does.
I got 5 kids.
That's child abuse. Don't do that.
Oh, fucking
Yeah,
child abuse.
because once it sets, it causes damage, yo. That's why when she's, like, pulling her lips apart eventually, I was like, "Oh, oh god.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was another
oh
good.
god."
Yeah, because which is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one
There
of
are
those.
so many moments of, "Oh god, this is terrible. Oh," and I appreciate that.
And she's trying to get her brother's attention. When she
Mhm.
tries to gain Nick's attention, yeah, Bo cuts off the tip of Carly's finger.
Which was
Uh,
cruel and unnecessary, and I did not enjoy that. I also was
But it
another
looked like Bo did it just for to
for
stop getting her finger,
but also he enjoyed it.
but he
He
enjoyed it.
thoroughly
Yes,
enjoyed it,
yeah, like he
which
had a smirk on his face when he
yes, which
did it.
made him creepier. Mhm.
And then she tears her glued lips apart and screams for help. That was good. I wouldn't have ripped my lips apart with my hands. Although
I
when he hit the tip of my finger, I probably would have just done it from screaming so loud. That
it
because the
was
tip of the finger looked painful.
well, because he cuts it clean off,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
he
she
just cuts
starts
it completely.
bleeding profusely, and I'm like, "Oh god." I'd pass out from, like, blood loss because that was a lot of blood coming out of it.
Yeah.
But I can understand the whole, like, "I'm not gonna rip my lips apart." But still, she didn't make a noise while she was ripping her lips apart, which
Yeah.
confused me because I was like, "Girl, you should say something. Do something. Grunt. Something."
Yeah. And then but she does get that scream out and alerts her
Mhm.
brother and gets his attention.
Yes.
Nick fends off Bo and frees Carly. Meanwhile, Dalton finds Wade, who is still
Mm.
alive but unable to move due to the wax. I can't believe stupid Dalton kept trying to take the wax off.
I swear
It's
to
like
fucking
you
God.
could swear like he was just trying like, dude, fucking
And
stop
then
fucking helping me.
he's like, "Sorry, Wade, sorry." And he just keeps going. I'm like, "You're literally peeling off his skin and some of his, like, face muscles. Could you not? Stop
Yeah.
it." Yeah, but he
Oh.
just keeps going. He just keeps going.
Yeah, he's just crying and his eyes start rolling back in his head. Attempting to peel off the wax, Dalton realizes that he's unintentionally removing Wade's skin in the process. Vincent finds Dalton and slashes Wade's face with a machete, killing him.
That was gross.
Yeah. After a chase through the museum, Vincent catches Dalton and decapitates him. Dalton tries to basically call time out when he gets to the stairs. Like
Yeah.
he's like, wait, time
Yeah,
out, dude.
he gets to the
Time
bottom
out,
of the
dude.
stairs and he decides that's far enough. I've run enough.
Yeah.
Although I will say I did enjoy the decapitation. The double blade decapitation was very entertaining. It was a nice clean cut. I
Hmm.
appreciate it. Those knives were also super cool.
Meanwhile, Nick and Carly realize that all the town's inhabitants are real people covered in wax. Bo and Vincent have been luring people and covering them in wax to make the figures look more realistic.
Mhm.
They were going to actually leave, I believe, at this point, but Dalton had the keys, the truck keys.
Yes.
At the campsite, Vincent kills Blake and chases Paige to a sugar mill where he kills her. Okay, the plot missed a bunch.
Yeah.
This is why I'm talking about the plots that kind of miss. They give you kind of like an overall,
They're
but
like, "And
they
then this and this happens." We won't tell
yeah,
you about the 20 minutes worth of film.
yeah. We'll just
That'll
breeze over this
later. We're
part.
just gonna
Okay, so Blake realizes he had a message and hears Carly saying she found the truck from last
Mhm.
night. Then he hears the struggle and is like, we got to do something.
Yeah.
Cut to Paige being like, where's my boyfriend? It's been like 5 minutes. Unlike Carly, who will wait
Mhm.
in the truck for like 3 hours as her boyfriend goes pee pee. Maybe she thought he was taking a shit.
Maybe.
Like, just let him do his business.
She's like, "He found a magazine, he's fine."
Yeah. Yeah. So Paige goes out and finds her boyfriend, knife in throat, but still alive, mind you, and is
Mm.
like, fuck that. We should see other people, and books it.
I do appreciate her, moment of common
Honesty?
sense right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
None of
Honesty and
this
common
stopping to
sense.
be like, "Babe." Nope.
Yeah.
She's like, "Getting out.
Yeah.
Fuck you."
Then Vincent walks by and pushes his head down,
Mhm.
and the knife kills him. He's
Yeah.
gone. Paige goes to this huge underground parking garage, but it's later we find out it was a factory that shut down, which is why
Mhm.
most people left the town. I think Paris did a good job here. Like, first,
Yes.
she's the only one running away.
God bless.
She goes up to those grates, and Vincent starts stabbing up through the floor.
Can I tell you that was another one when that knife made contact with her foot? I was like, "Oh god. Oh, jeez."
Yeah, and then it's like he went after her boobies for some reason.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I was like, hey, you leave Paris Hilton's titties alone. They never did nothing to nobody. You fucking
But
monster.
I will say this, that was probably, one of the tenser and more suspenseful scenes of the movie, and I'm not giving it to Paris Hilton, I will give it to the director and the cinematographer for choosing just the right, like, shots. But as he's trying to, like, stab at her and she's trying to dodge,
Yeah.
I'm like, I was like, "Oh god, is he gonna do more stabby? I don't want more stabby." And then she actually limps down the stairs with her stabbed foot, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and then she hid in the car with a weapon.
Yes, she found a weapon.
Yeah, and gets him a bit when he tries pulling her out. She
Mhm.
gets him right in the face, and then she's actually looking under the cars to see if she can see his feet and everything. This is the smartest person in this movie was Paris Hilton,
I know.
and then he launches the pole right through her head.
Yep, like a javelin,
Yeah,
straight through her forehead. It was good though. I enjoyed
yeah,
it.
yeah. That scene was very good.
Yeah.
Nick and Carly return to the house to find Wade and Dalton. Did they actually find Wade? I know they find
They
Dalton later
find
and try
Dalton.
freeing him.
Yes, they did find Wade,
Oh, okay.
but it was like a, "Oh god," and then they just kept going.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like what she
she
wanted to
didn't.
talk to Wade about was breaking up.
Yeah, yeah, because she didn't seem like
She didn't seem that broken up about it.
not overly broken up.
Yeah.
And then Nick tries to get Dalton's, and his head just pops off.
Yeah.
See, I would have been a horrible director. I would have added in a cheesy scene where he like
Of course you
tries to
would
put it back,
have. Oh
act
god,
like it
no,
never
Wade.
happened.
I didn't do it.
Would have ruined it.
Oh.
When Bo and Vincent return, they chase Carly and Nick to the house of wax. Okay, so again, let's back up. Paris and her boobies are gone. R.I.P. Then back to town after chasing off Bo from the gas station. Bo
Yep.
returns with a shotgun and then chases
Uh-huh.
them around the town.
Uh-huh.
Nick grabs a crossbow from one of the stores.
Yes.
So I wrote this out in point. They head into the theater that automatically starts playing Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, complete with sound effects of people being there. For anybody that hasn't seen this movie, when they first get into the town, there is sounds of a working town.
Yes.
You actually hear kids playing and cars and stuff like that. It does sound like there are people there. And the same with the movie theater.
Mhm.
Bo knows they are in there. Carly is sitting in the theater with the wax figures or dead people covered in wax. That, or yeah, or some of them might still be alive, like Wade was.
True.
That'd be the worst one to be sitting in, like
Right?
alive, all frozen wax, and like in the movie theater, and you're holding like a box of Milk Duds or M&M peanuts. You can see them, but you can't eat them.
I like how that's the worst part of it.
You're like, oh, what's the hell
Not that you're gonna die, but no, you can't eat the Milk Duds.
Well, you know you're gonna die already. It'd be nice to have a Milk Dud or an M&M before you die. Where am I? Bo finally spots Carly. Nick shoots him with an arrow, and they run out. Bo chases them, flings open the door. The only smart thing these two people have done are waiting for him to fling open the door and shoot him with another arrow.
Yes.
Bo is out. They grabbed the gun. They
Mhm.
didn't bash him his head in or anything. They left him. They went to Bo. They go to Bo's house, look for bullets. Bo comes back, looks like he's just having the worst day.
Mhm.
2 arrows sticking out of him. He's trying to. What does he do? He pushes it out of him, doesn't he? Yeah,
He does, yeah, but he has to, like, cut it off
yeah,
because it has the end. I'd also like to point out that the sink was full of dishes.
yeah. Wax
This is
dishes.
this is what I noticed. I'm like, "That kitchen is filthy, and you're just gonna randomly pick up something and snip a you're gonna give yourself an infection."
Yeah, yeah. Because doesn't he throw up on it first?
I think so. I'm like, "Geez,
'Cause he
guy."
throws up all over the place.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Vincent comes in and he
Mhm.
has to fix his face because Paige hit him with that pole.
Yeah.
Now, Nick grabs Carly because he found the underground tunnel to the wax place under the House of Wax. They are under there trying to find a light switch, meanwhile turning the town on and off.
Yes.
Again, for anyone that's listening hasn't seen this movie, the entire town is hooked up underneath this where they make all their wax so
It's
they can turn
basically
it.
an automated town.
Yeah, and everything's going on and off. So now Bo is like, I think I know where they are. Then they Nick and Carly find Dalton. This is where they find Dalton
Yeah,
and decapitate him for a second time.
just for shits and
Now,
giggles.
yeah, yeah, for shits and giggles. Now Bo and Vincent chase them into the House of Wax.
Mhm.
Now we're back to the plot. It is revealed that Bo is the evil brother and Vincent is the good one. Since their parents died, Bo has been controlling the more mild-mannered Vincent through physical and verbal abuse. Yes, the mild-mannered one. The good one that has been doing all the killing.
Well, it's funny because I'm sitting there and I'm like, "But has he though?" Well, it's mostly.
Yeah,
It does, but I
he
think
killed Wade. He
no, but
killed
I
Dalton. He killed Paige. He killed Blake. Bo hasn't done shit.
wasn't wasn't Blake and Paige, weren't they done in by Bo?
No, because
Was it
Vincent's the
Vincent?
one. Because Vincent's trying to stab her up through the grate and
Oh,
stuff.
right. Valid, valid. I forgot about that. I he's the mastermind. He's the
Yeah, he's doing all.
puppeteer.
Yeah, and Vincent, the good one, is killing everyone and pouring hot wax on people who are still alive. This was the stupidest and the most wasteful plot point I think in any horror movie. I'm sure there are worse, but not in the $40 million range.
No. Honestly, the fact that they spent $40 million on this hurts my heart and perplexes me. But I mean, it looked shiny.
Yeah, and like I thought that this whole at the beginning, because they made a point at the beginning to show these two kids,
Yeah.
one was good, one was bad. And we get to this, and neither one is good.
Well, neither one does good, but I will say I think Vincent was definitely I think there were many issues, lots of trauma, lots of like because you find out that they were conjoined twins.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, but that's how Vincent's face got all messed up.
Yeah,
We find that out later on in the movie,
yeah,
because they when they separated them.
yeah,
So I think there's a whole "I'm a loner, I only have my brother" trauma thing happening there, and then your brother's like, you have this one goal of making really realistic wax figures. The best way to do that is by covering real people with wax.
and
Neither
he's
of them
like,
are
"Yeah,
good. They're a great evil tag team, but I think one is maybe a little delusional. The other one's just having a good time.
one's just one's the instigator.
One is the
One's
instigator,
yeah,
one is the, um, what's the word, the convincer?
the
He's
convincey.
well, Vincent is being persuaded. There we go.
Yeah,
Bo is the persuader. He's
yeah,
like, "This is the best way to do it." Vincent's like, "Well, I mean, I haven't talked to anyone else in 25 years. I believe you."
yeah, yeah. After a chase scene, Carly beats Bo to death with a baseball bat.
Mm,
First, Nick helped out a bit, and by that I mean he did all the work. He got thrown around, punched in the
yeah.
face, stabbed. Carly basically sucker punched Bo. Nick, they didn't find the keys.
They did not find the
No.
keys, but they found Dalton's head.
Yes.
Yes.
Nick unintentionally sets the house of wax on fire, and the wax figures start to melt, as does the whole house. An enraged Vincent chases Carly to the top floor, but Carly and Nick stab Vincent. Actually, Nick seems to get his foot stuck on that first or second step for what seems like a while.
Yeah.
Carly actually tries to reason with Vincent, saying she knows he's the good brother. He's an artist. And because she says that. She says,
Yeah.
yeah, you're an artist. I'm like, bitch, have you seen his artwork?
And he's still super stabby. And
He,
she
yeah,
did see his little wax figures that weren't, wax poured over real people were very good.
they
And
look
he did
weird.
paintings. Of course they were weird. They're still by Vincent, but they're still good.
Yeah,
They're just signs of mental trauma. It's fine.
yeah. Because I'm sitting there going, this is the guy you're trying to connect to his better side. You
Yeah,
silly
trying to
broad.
connect enough so that she doesn't get killed. That's what she's trying to connect to. Staying alive.
His body falls through the floor and he lands on top of his brother's corpse. Carly and Nick escape the house of wax as it melts to the ground. The one thing that actually, well, there was a few things, obviously, that really bugged me. Wouldn't that melting, boiling wax hurt?
100%. Yeah.
Wouldn't have stuck to them? Shouldn't they have come out with the
They
wax
should have
house, just
had
a big pile of goo?
wax dried on them. Their feet should have been covered in wax. Like, not a chance in hell.
At
They
least
would have come out as clean as they did.
a first degree burn here or there.
Some minimum first, probably second. Perhaps
That
even third.
that would have been great.
I've gotten third-degree burns from wax.
Yeah,
Not
not them.
comfortable. No, they're immune. It's fantastic.
That would have been a great ending. Cops everywhere and just two big piles of wax with just their eyes looking around. Or Lester driving off with them in the back of his truck.
Fantastic.
Cue the Deliverance banjo. The next day, the police arrive and report that Ambrose has been abandoned for 10 years when the local sugar mill failed. As Nick and Carly are taken to the hospital, the sheriff learns that Dr. and Mrs. Sinclair had a third son. From inside the ambulance, Carly sees Lester, who smiles and waves goodbye. Lester was obviously not the brains of the family. Like, he was just a few meters from those cops.
Lester is the potential sequel. That's what Lester is.
Oh, God.
Which thankfully they never did.
No. Yeah, because
'Cause
I'm
I
sure
was
those
just
cops have a question or two for Lester.
Well, what kills me, yeah, but I don't even think they talked about Lester.
No.
Like, what's Nick and Carly? I don't think they even mentioned Lester. And like, they didn't mention to the cops, hey, there was also creepy roadkill man.
No.
Oh, hey, look,
Yeah.
there he is. You might want to talk to him.
Yeah. Yeah, they could have
No,
put him
why would
further
they do
down
that?
the road a bit.
Right? Or in the trees, like something. No, he's just sitting there. He's like, bye, guys. Bye.
Good old Lester.
He was so weird and creepy.
Yes,
weird.
he put all a giant creep vibe out.
Oh,
More so than Bo
100%.
and Vincent.
I would never get into a truck with him.
No.
Never.
No, neither would I. Okay, and that's our movie.
That is.
So, your score.
I give this one a solid 6.3.
6.3.
It was pretty kind of good. Leaning, and it
little
had
bit better than
the
pretty kinda good.
beginnings. It had the very beginnings of being very, really good. Like, just it had further to go. And the reason why it didn't get closer to very, really good is the plot. It's
Yeah.
kind of so many holes. There's holes in the logic. There's holes in the common sense. I don't know why they decided that the two dumbest people in this movie were going to survive.
Yeah.
Like, they did everything wrong. They should have been dead. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Paris Hilton's character should have lived to the end.
Yeah.
She was the only one that showed any sense. She should have been the final girl.
Yep.
But I mean, it was still creative kills, suspenseful moments. It was fun. It was creepy. So I was like, I'd watch it again. And I see why I liked it back then.
Right. So 6.3. Okay, so mine, of course, I write down.
Yep.
Get ready here.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Give me your dissertation.
Like the tagline from the 80s. No, hold on. I'm reading the wrong thing here. Yes, no, I'm not. I was reading the right thing. Like the tagline for the 80s movie Wall Street, greed is good. House of Wax falls right into place with your traditional 2000 horror movie, gore is good. The decade was full of gore horror. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Saw movies, Final Destination movies, Hostel movies, even House on Haunted Hill and Ghost Ship. House of Wax fits right in. There was a reason the 2000s invented the genre torture porn. The acting was fine. Nothing stellar here, but it is a horror movie. It was believable and it was serviceable. And FYI, Paris Hilton was fine in the movie. She wasn't Meryl Streep or anything like that, but the director knew it, obviously, and she wasn't the focus. The directing was fine. Again, serviceable. Nothing outstanding. It wasn't Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This could have a lot to do with the story, but the dread was good. It had some tense moments. The story, this is the movie's iceberg. The story was stupid.
100%.
Didn't make a lot of sense. Even for a horror movie, it was pretty dumb. I know there are stupider horror movies out there, but not that looked this good or acted this good. They wasted the twin angle of a good twin and a bad twin. They're both psychotic serial killers. Like, it was just a big waste. The look was fantastic. It was shot great. It looked great. The town, whether I think it was a waste of money or not, looked great. The effects were great. The kills and gore looked great. Wade getting waxed looked painful. Carly ripping her lips open when they're super good glue. Gross. The wax museum melting at the end looked really gooey. This was probably the best part of the movie. The fun factor for me was okay. It had a few tense scenes, a lot of gore, good finale, but the fun factor wasn't completely there. Maybe because they split up all the time. A good chunk of four of them were in traffic. Maybe if they were in town more and everyone was being chased and then got split up because they were chased. I don't know. Not enough chase. But the fun factor was okay. So for me, I give it a 5.5 because 5 would mean it was a toss-up if I would ever watch it again. I will probably watch this down the road again. So it was, for me, it was in between meh, okay, and pretty kind of good. So the end, not that far off from you. I thought it was going to be.
We were pretty. Oh no.
Pretty.
We're pretty much on the same page.
Yeah.
Like, the story was shit, and they could have done this movie much more justice
Yeah.
if they had focused more on the story, and if they had really ratcheted up the whole group of friends being chased by psycho twin killers. That wasn't this movie. And even though I enjoyed, like, Blake and what's Paris? Paige. That's it.
Page.
Blake and Paige's deaths. Paige was the only one that really fed into it. Blake, you blink and he's dead. And you're just like,
Yeah.
I feel like we should have given him more. Like,
Yeah.
there was a possibility for a really good tense kill or a tense scene for that. And they just kind of gave it up.
Yeah.
And kind of the same thing with Dalton, because Dalton, like, runs for a bit and then he just kind of lays down and he's like, oh, you're gonna behead me? Cool. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Have fun. So I think there were missed opportunities. But overall, if you suspend your disbelief and you stop looking for logic and common sense in this movie, it's a fun little ride with some very creative kills and fun little moments and very tense moments. Also, I really like that the gore wasn't just kept to the kills.
Yeah.
Like, there were gross little bits throughout. And I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't give it just a 5
Yeah.
because I can see myself watching this again. Not anytime soon, mind you, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm good for a while.
Yeah. Now, if you liked it back then, rent it, stream it, buy it, or skip it.
I honestly, if you liked it back then, valid rental. Because I feel the same way for it now that I did back then, where it was just like, it was a fun movie. It was a fun little watch. I'd pay $4.99 for it.
See, I would say stream it unless you're like a huge core fan of those 2000 movies like Texas Chainsaw
Yeah.
Massacre, Wrong Turn, Vacancy, Friday 13th, 2009. Then rent it. or even buy it if it's on sale. I'm just saying it's not as
Oh.
good as those ones I just mentioned.
Yeah. No, buy if it's on sale, if you liked
I
it
mean,
more
like
than I did.
$4.99. It's like the same to buy it or rent it.
$4.99 rental if you're watching it, if you really, really like it, and
Yeah.
you're just like, you know what, I've got a craving. Stream it always is always my choice.
Yes.
If you can watch it for free, watch it for free. But yeah, no, I I personally wouldn't rent it, but if you really liked it when you first watched it, a rental is warranted.
Yeah. Now, if you've never seen it,
Stream
assuming
it.
you're a horror fan,
If you're a horror fan and you've never seen it and you don't get easily queasy,
I would say
stream it.
stream it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not worth the money for a first time watch.
And it isn't a scary movie. Again, this is a gory horror movie. Not overly gory like some of the movies I mentioned,
Yeah.
but it does have a few
Mhm.
parts in it. Could it be rebooted or reimagined today?
I mean, this is the third reimagining of House of Wax. Or
Yeah.
no, this is the second reimagining. My bad, because there was the original in 33, I think it was, and
Yeah, and
then
then 50
the
something.
remake in 55, and then they had this one.
Yeah. I don't know if I would do this one again. I maybe you could do the twin thing better. I don't know.
If they
I'd
fixed all the issues that this one had, it would be worth a reimagining.
I'd rather them do something with the Vincent Price one,
Mm,
preferably.
true.
But yeah, you could.
It could be done. I'm not saying it should be done, but it could be done.
Yeah,
But it would require a little bit of reworking and filling in the plot holes
yeah, yeah.
and making the survivors, the characters who survive, actually smarter. Like, give us the things we were missing from this one.
Yeah. Don't reboot the movie and then leave the plot as is.
Yeah, no.
That would
No.
suck. All right. So 5.5 and a 6.3
Mhm.
for House of Wax. Thank you for listening to I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Join us next week I gotta write this down and fucking get a closing. Join us next week for another movie that we're gonna shit on or
wax poetic about.
yeah.
Congratulations. You just had one of your childhood movie memories vindicated. Or they just eviscerated it. I don't know. This is a generic one-size-fits-all type of ending to the podcast. So thank you for listening, and please join Anna and Jimmy next time for another episode of the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. If you dare to go back and watch that movie you remember liking,